वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः प्रेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि नः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः।
We are seeing the Avatarinика Bhashyam of the fifth chapter of the Gita, Sannyasa Yoga. The chapter begins with the question of Arjuna, Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam Cha Shamsasi. We are going to see that shloka, not yet seen. Yachreya yetayorekam tanme brugi sunishchitam. So among the two, Sannyasa and Karma Yoga, which is Shreyaha, that which is Shreyaha, which is better of the two, that you tell me. Now, how this sannyasa, between sannyasa and karma, there could be a choice. How can there be a choice between sannyasa and karma yoga? That is the question which is raised as an akshepa by the Purva Pakshi. So that discussion we saw, a long discussion. And Bhagavan also has replied. So therefore, it is not an invalid question. The question is valid. The validity of the question has to be established by the Bhashyakara. That is what Bhashyakara did all the way up to the previous Pankti, previous paragraph. We have seen every class. We are not going to see again. The point is, there are three things. Vidvat Kartarka Sanyasaha for Atmavit, meaning Vidvat Sanyasa for Atmavit. Avidvat Kartarka Sannyasa for Anatmavit. That is Anatmavit Kartarka Sannyasa for Anatmavit. That is Vividisha Sannyasa. So two types of sannyasa and karma yoga, that is another thing. So three things are there. Two types of sannyasa, Vidvat Sannyasa, Vividisha Sannyasa, and another thing is karma yoga. For the person who is Atmavit, who has been exposed to Shastram, Shravanam Mananam, for them Atmavit Kartarka Sannyasa, Vidvat Sannyasa is, that is Sarvakarma Sannyasa. In the language of the Gita, the fourth chapter we saw. That is what Bhagavan has recommended. So for Atmavita Kartarka Sannyasa, otherwise called Vidvat Sannyasa, the candidate is an Atmavita Jnani. Jnani means yes, then Shravana Manana, that is Jnani. In that sense, we use the word Atmavita. And Vividisha Sannyasa, otherwise called Anatmavita Kartarka Sannyasa, that is how Bhashyakara refers to that. Avidvat Kartarka Sannyasa. For that, the Adhikari is Ajnani. And for Karma Yoga also, the Adhikari is Ajnani. Anatmavit. Since Anatmavit is an adhikari for Avidvat Kartrika Sannyasa and Karma Yoga, therefore there is a choice between the two. That is what Arjuna asked. Therefore, the prashna of Arjuna is valid. The sannyasa, what Arjuna meant is Avidvat Kartrika Sannyasa, that is Anatmavit Kartrika Sannyasa. It is not Vidvat Kartrika Sannyasa. It is not Atmavit Kartrika Sannyasa. Because Atmavit Kartrika Sannyasa, that is Vidvat Sannyasa, that it precedes Karma Yoga. After Karma Yoga, after having gained Chitta Shuddhi only, the person engages into the sannyasa. So therefore, again Karma Yoga not required, and Karma Yoga it is after having gained the end, the Karma Yoga what it gives, that Santa Karma Shuddhi. Again, one need not do Karma Yoga, it is of no use. And also, Jnanam and Karma cannot go together. Therefore, sannyasa, the word which Arjuna uses, doesn't refer to Vidvat sannyasa, doesn't refer to Jnanam. That is why Sarva Karma sannyasa, the word Sarva Karma sannyasa suggested for Vidvat sannyasi, that one who has given up everything and taken to sannyasa ashrama. So for him, Karma Yoga is not applicable. Therefore, sannyasa, the word means anatmavit kartrika sannyasa. Adhikari is ajnani, anatmavit. And Karma Yoga, for which the adhikari is, again, anatmavit, ajnani only. And Arjuna is atmavit or anatmavit, being anatmavit, being ajnani. Therefore, he thinks there is a choice. He thinks that, of course, there is a choice between sannyasa and karma. What type of sannyasa? Avidvat kartaka sannyasa, that is vividesha sannyasa, not vidvat sannyasa. Because vidvat sannyasa implies jnanam. So therefore it is not vidvat sannyasa, it is vividesha sannyasa, being adhikari being ajnani. But since sannyasa is one way, and there is less scope for gaining or defining the antakaranam. Therefore, sannyasa is not suggested. Even vividesha sannyasa not suggested for Arjuna. Of course, Bhagavan glorified sarvakarma sannyasa, but did not suggest either of the sannyasa to Arjuna. In fact, he wanted Arjuna to perform karma yoga, because the karma yoga which is undertaken by the Grastha Ashramis, they have a lot of avenues, scope to refine the antakaranam, to gain the antakarana shuddhi, which in sannyasa ashrama is not possible and are less possible. So therefore, only Bhagavan always recommends karma yoga for Arjuna. But the question of Arjuna is valid if we take sannyasa to be anatmavita kartrika sannyasa. That is what the whole discussion up to the previous panthi. Now here, the topics, another thing started. That is, in the Gita, we see in many places there is nirupanam of the Atma, Swarupam. There is ascertainment of the Atma Swarupa, the nature of Atma, for an Atmavita. And there, karma abhavaha, absence of karma, is it talked about? Where the nature of Atma is ascertained, there Karma abhavaha, the absence of karma. Karma, non-suggestion of karma. Karma, is it non-suggested? Iti prashnaha, iti question. Because there are places where Atma Swarupanam is done and Bhagavan immediately asking Arjuna to do karma. That is why this question is asked. So let us read. Though we have seen, let us read from Keshu Keshu. So that is the question. Keshu Keshu
Keshu Keshu
Punaha Atma Swarupa Nirupana Pradeshu
पुनः आत्मा स्वरूप निरूपण प्रदेशेषु
Atmavidaha Karma Abhavaha Pratipadyate Iti.
आत्मविदः
आत्मविद
कर्म
कर्माभावः प्रतिपाद्यते इति.
So Keshu Keshu, in which are all the places in the Gita? What place? Atma Swarupana Nirupana Pradeshu. Nirupanam, proving, establishing, ascertaining the Swarupa of the Atma. That is a Pradesha, that is a places in the Gita. For Atma Vidaha, for a Jnani, Karma Abhavaha, absence of Karma, Pratipadyate, where it is said. In the places where Atma Swarupa Nirupanam is presented, where Karma Abhava is presented, iti prashnaha. For that, see, the Bhagavan talks about Karma Yoga also in the Gita. In fact, more than generally people think that Gita talks about Karma Yoga. Sannyasa also is talked about. Karma Yoga is talked about because it is talked about as a discipline, as a means, as a sadhanam for preparation of a sannyasa. So Karma Yoga is talked about because it is a means for the end, that is jnanam, that is sannyasa. We use the word sannyasa sometimes to refer to jnanam. Whether jnanam, the moksha is gained by leading a sannyasa ashrama or grihastha ashrama doesn't matter. Ashrama doesn't matter. Because two types of ashrama lifestyles are presented. Jnana yogena sankyanam, karma yogena yogina. But jnanam is important. But this jnanam is the form of sarva karma sannyasa. Aham akarta abhokta, that is jnanam. That is what sarva karma sannyasa is, vidvat sannyasa. So that is possible for a grihastha as well as for a sannyasi. Only the lifestyles are different. So there, in which places in the Gita for Atmavit, karma bhava is talked about? That is the question. Absence of karma for Atmavit is talked about for that. Atra uchyate
अत्र उच्यते
उच्यते
avinashi tu tadvidhi
अविनाशी
तु
तत्
इति
iti prakritya
इति
प्रकृत्या
प्रकृत्या
yeyenam veti hantaram
येन
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 वेति
वेत्ति
हन्तारम्
हन्तारम्
veda vinashinam nityam
वेदाविनाशिनं नित्यम्
नित्यम्
ityado tatra atmavidah karma bhavah uchyate.
इत्यादौ
आदौ
तत्र
तत्र आत्मविदः
आत्मविदः
कर्मभावः उच्यते.
उच्यते
Karma bhava uchyate. Tatra atmavidah. Keshu pradeshu tatra. It means teshu. Putra Acharya refers to the second chapter, Avinashi Tadvidhi. The second chapter, 17th shloka, and other places also, 19th shloka, he says, Veda Vinashim Nityam, 21st shloka, in all these places. Atra is Asmin Vishaya, with regard to this Karma Bhavaha, Atmavidaha, Karma Bhavaha, Uchyate, Putra, in all these places. Tatra, Atmavidaha, Karma Bhavaha, Uchyate. Absence of karma for the knower of Atma, the one who knows Atma. Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam. Atma is avinashi. Na anti na hanyate. It doesn't kill, doesn't nahanti, or it cannot be killed. Neither an object of action nor the subject of action. It means it is akarta, abhokta. Na karta, na bhokta, na karayita. So Atma is nishkriya. Nishkriya Atma. Where is Atma? Karma bhavaha uchyate. Atmanaha karma bhavaha uchyate. Atma doesn't have karma. Absence of karma is talked about. Atma doesn't have karma means Atmavit Atmanam Veti. Therefore, that person doesn't have karma. That's why Sarvakarma sannyasa is. So the nature of Atma, Atma being Nishkriyaha, therefore Atmavit, who knows, who understands, who has understood the Tattvam, therefore karma is not there for the person. Karma is not there means Karma Yoga is not there. So if I am Atma, Aham Atma, iti, when that jnanam is there, Atma is Nishkriyaha talked about. Therefore, Atmavit, there is no karma. Karma abhavaha uchyate for Atmavit. For Atmavit, when there is no karma, then karma talked about in the Gita. For whom it is talked about. That is for Anatmavit only. That is for Ajnani. Karma is talked about, not for Ajnani. Then further he says, further the question is raised. Nanucha
Nanucha
karma yogaha api
कर्मयोगः अपि
Atmaswarupa nirupana pradesheshu
आत्मस्वरूपनिरूपणप्रदेशेषु
तत्र तत्र प्रतिपाद्यते एव.
तत्र प्रतिपाद्यते एव.
Guru Bakshi asking, Karma Yoga also, in the places where Atma is talked about, nature of Atma is presented, there Karma Yoga also is talked about. If Atma is Nishkriya Atma, and Atmavita doesn't have karma, for him Karma Yoga is not there. In places where Atma Swarupam is talked about, Karma Yoga is also talked about. If you ask how, if you ask me to quote from Gita, from same Gita, I will quote Purva Bakshi says. It says, he quotes, Tadyata
तद्यथा
Tasmadhyasva Bharata
तस्माद्
भारत
Swadharmamapi Chabekshya
स्वधर्मापि चावेक्ष्य
Karmanyevadikaraste ityadau
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते यादव
Atascha
अतश्च
Katam Atmavidah Karmayogasya Asambhavah Syat iti.
कथम् आत्मविदः कर्मयोगस्य असम्भवः स्यादिति.
So Purva Bakshi quotes in the places where Atma Swarupa Nirupanam is done, where Karma Yoga also is talked about. Like in the Gita. The Gita, starting from the 11th shloka of the second chapter up to the shloka before the 39th shloka, Sankhya, that is Jnanam, is talked about. After that, from 40th shloka onwards, is about Karma Yoga, there are only Karmanyevadikaraste and all comes. It is talked about up to the shloka number 53, then 54 onwards, 55 onwards, Ita Pragya. So Karma Yoga later talked about, Jnana Yoga talked about in the beginning itself. But in the beginning, it's Tasmadhyasva Bharata, that shloka is 18th shloka, where Sankyam, Jnanam is talked about. There, Tasmadhyasva Bharata, 18th shloka. Anta ime devaha nityasyokta sharirinaha. Anashino prameyasya tasmadhyasva Bharata. Atma Swarupa Nirupanam it is. Degaha antavantaha. Whereas Atma is Nityaha Sharirinaha. Nityasya Uktaha. Shariri is Nityam. Shariram is Anityam. Atma Swarupanam is presented. Atma is the nature of Atma presented. That Tasmadhyasva Bharata. Hey Arjuna, you get up and fight. Talked about karma, talked about. Karma bhavaha vartate eva tatra. Similarly, Swadharmam apicha vekshya. 31st shloka also. There also it is talked about, that is in the context of Jnanam, in the context of Atma Swarupa, Nirupanam, and Karmanyavadhikaraste, of course, 47th shloka. So therefore, how do you say? Katam Atma Vidaha, for the knower of Atma, Karma Yogasya Asambhavaha, Abhavaha, Asambhavaha Syaditi. How is that Karma Yoga is not there for Atma Vidu? How can you say Karma Yoga is not there for a wise man? Swadharma Apichaveksha, even considering a duty, even when you have self-knowledge, Atma Jnanam, you do karma. Gita says, Karmanyavadhikaraste. So all these sentences, Purvakshi quotes. Therefore, Katam Sambhava, Asambhavaha, how it is impossible, Karma Yoga for a wise man, Atmavita, Ji Akshepaha. For that Samadhanam, Bhashikara gives Samadhanam, gives the reasons. 8 reasons he gives. Beautiful reasons. That is how Bhashikara says. That is, for Atmavita, Dharma Asambhavaha, that he says. So Atra Uchite, starting from there, is the reply. Whole paragraph forms a reply. 8 points are there. We saw in the last class first 2 points. And after that we have to see, just quickly we will see the first 2 points one more time. Atra Uchyate.
Atra uchyate.
And also at the end, if you see, end of the Pankti, this is what Acharya emphasizes. Karma yoga swapne api na sambhavitum shakyate. For whom? For Atmavit. Karma yoga, even in dream, is not possible for an Atmavit. That is what Bhashikara presents by giving 8 reasons. 8. So, Karma Yoga Swapne api na sambhavitum shakyate, that is the na sambhavite, that is the hetu mat. That which has hetu, that which has causes, reasons is called hetu mat. Then what are the hetus? What are the reasons? That is given. Having said the reasons, finally he says, Karma Yoga, therefore, even in dream is not possible for a jnani, for an Atmavit. Yasmat, because it is so tasmat, it gives the conclusion that we will see later. Now, the 8 reasons, the 8 tools are given. Atra uchyate.
Atra uchyate.
First reason. Samyak jnana mitya jnana tat karya virodhat. That is the first hetu. So every time when we say the hetu, we have to bring in the hetu mat. Samyak jnana mitya jnana tatkari virodhat swapne api karma yoga na sambhavati atmavidaha. Karma yoga swapne api atmavidaha na sambhavayitum typo. It's a typo, is that? Sambhavayitum na shakyam. Shakyate. Swapne api karma yoga na sambhavaha atmavidaha iti. Every time we have to connect to that. Now, virodha, that is contradiction between what? Samyak jnanam and mithya jnanam. Samyak jnanam is jnanam. Correct knowledge, right understanding. And mithya jnanam, wrong understanding. Because of ajnanam, there is adhyasa. And adhyasa, therefore, there is ajnanam, mithya jnanam, ajnanam, wrong understanding. So these 2 things, Samyak Jnanam, when you have the right knowledge, then you are free, you are muktaha. There is no samsara. That is the karya. The result is you become muktaha. Nitya Jnanam, the karya, the result, the effect of that is samsara, samsari. Samyak Jnanam, jnani has, atmavita has. Nitya Jnanam, anatmavita, ajnani has. Jnani is free, ajnani is bound. For jnani, this jagat is mithya. For ajnani, the jagat is satyam. The result, the karya. So, mithya, samyak jnanam, mithya jnanam, these two are virodha, opposite to each other, and the result of that, effect of that jnanam also is opposite. If that is so, how can there be this? It can be, could be the same person. The person who has got samyak jnanam, he knows aham atma, akarta, abhokta iti. That is jnanam. He doesn't have the notion that aham karta. Aham karta, when we say the sharir abhimana will come. Sharir abhimana is implied. Aham karta is who is a karta. Karma is possible with the upadhi. When there is abhimana with the upadhi, then aham karta, atma becomes karta. Atma can never become karta. That is samyak jnanam. Jnani has that jnanam. And ajnani has abhimana with the sharira manasangata. Therefore, he says aham karta. For him, aham is atma, atma is karta. So, therefore, kartrutva jnanam leads to bandha and therefore samsara. Atma karta iti, that ajnanam, that is mithya jnanam. Samyak jnanam, the knowledge, frees a person from samsara. In spite of having the upadhi, he knows aham atma iti, nishkriyaha atma. Atma doesn't have karma, doesn't undergo any vikara, doesn't undergo any change. Therefore, asti jayate, vardate, viparinamate, vipakshate, all the shadvikaras are not there. Therefore, he is free. Karya, the result is moksha. Therefore, the resultant, the effect of the difference in the jnanam and they are opposite to each other, that is also different. Effect also different. One is free from bondage, other one is bound, is samsari. So being samsara the cause is vidya jnanam. Due to adhyasa due to ajnanam. Therefore that will perpetuate bondage. Whereas atmavita, he cannot have mithya jnanam. If he has mithya jnanam, then he's not atmavita. Therefore, atmavita who has got samyak jnanam, for him karma yoga is asambhava, not possible. Karma yoga is possible only for those people who have the abhimana aham karta. Therefore, it is for karma yogis. The one who has already gained jnanam, for him, it is not possible. Karma yoga, it's not possible because virodha, that is a hetu reason. Because there is virodha against the samyak jnanam, karma yoga is against the samyak jnanam. How can it be suggested for an atmavita who has samyak jnanam? Therefore, not possible. Karma yoga implies ajnanam, ajnani. And karma yoga is a sadhanam for the person. Sadhana, when we say, the person must be a sadhaka, not a siddha. Atmaviti is siddha. He has gained that to be gained. And that is already gained, that he gains. He has reached the end. Whereas ajnani is working on it. So for him only karma yoga. So therefore, karma yoga, how can karma yoga and this sannyasa can go together? It cannot go together for an atmavita because they are of opposite nature. This is one hetu, one reason. Okay. Okay, if then this karma yoga, suppose karma yoga, if it is not, it is not conducive for me for gaining jnana, then why should I do karma yoga? Karma yoga is recommended for gaining antakarna shuddhi. Karma yoga, nobody says karma yoga is satyam. By mithya karma yoga, mithya ashuddhi is removed. Antakarna ashuddhi is also mithya. It is not satyam. If it is satyam, if you remove it, again it will come. So by mithya karma yoga, mithya ashuddhi of the antakarnam is removed. And the one who knows, the jnani who knows, who understands that everything is mithya, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, then how karma yoga is possible for him? It's not possible. Therefore, karma yoga swapne api sambhavaitam na shakyate. Even in swapna, even in dream, it is not possible. This is one reason. Because the knowledge is different. The knowledge, there is contradiction. And the resultant of the knowledge is also, as we see in the Vyavahara of the Jnani and Ajnani, it is contradictory, opposite. Therefore, both cannot go together for a Jnani. This is one hetu, one reason. A Jnani is already Siddha. Karma Yogi is a Sadhaka. For Sadhaka, Karma Yoga is a sadhana. For Siddha, you cannot suggest a sadhana. He is already Siddha. Therefore, Karma Yoga na sambhavitum shakyam. The second point. Jnana yogena sankhyanam
Jnana yogi
Jnana yogena
sankyanam
ityanena
ityanena
sankyanam atma tattvavidam
Sankhyanam atmatattvavidam
anatmavit kartarka karma yoga nishthatah
anatmavid kartruka karma yoga nishthatah
निष्क्रियात्म स्वरूपवस्थान लक्षणायाः
लक्षणायाः
पृथक्करणात्
ज्ञानयोगनिष्ठायाः
ज्ञानयोग पृथक्करणात्
पृथक्करणात्
ज्ञानयोगनिष्ठायाः पृथक्करणात्.
This point refers to the third shloka of the third chapter. Jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yoginam lokesmin dvividha nishta pura prokta mayanaha. Two types of committed lifestyles were taught by me before. What are they? Jnana yogena sankyanam, for sankyas, that is sannyasis, jnana yogaha, and for karma yogis, karma yogaha. It is two committed lifestyles, two different committed lifestyles were taught by me. So therefore, by that, anatmavit kartrika karma yoga nishtataha panchami. That is lifestyle committed to karma yoga nishtha. Karma yoga nishtha, which is for whom not atmavit, anatmavit. So anatmavit kartrika karma yoga, and that karma yoga lifestyle nishtataha, from that jnana yoga nishthayaha pratakkaranat. That is pratakkaranam is done of what? Jnana yoga nishtha. The lifestyle committed to Jnana Yoga is differentiated Pratakkaranam. That is a hetu. Other words are qualifying the words which are used. Like Jnana Yogena Sankhyana Vikti Anena Sankhyanam is equal to Atma Tattvavidam. Who are Sankhya? Not Sankhya means Sankhya Darshanam. Acharya says Atma Tattvavidam. Atma Tattvam Veti iti Atma Tattavit. Tesham. Shashti Bhakti. Atmavit. Like Marut Shabda only. Marutam. Atma Tattvavidam. Atma Tattvam Veti iti Atma Tattavit. Atma Tattvam Atma Tattvam. Shashti Tatpurusha. Atmatattvam veti, janati, atmatattavit. That is the Pratipadikam, Shashti Bhakti of that Bhagavachanam. Atmatattavidam, that is Sankhyanam, that is those who know Atmatattvam, those who have clear understanding of oneself. Then for them, Karma Yoga Nishta. Anatmavit Karma Yoga Nishtataha. Tesham for them, from the Pratakkaranam of Jnana Yoga Nishta is done from Karma Yoga Nishta. Karma Yoga is for Anatmavit. Anatmavit Kartrika Karma Yoga. And Karma Yoga lifestyle. From that, Jnana Yoga lifestyle is differentiated. Jnana Yoga Nishtayaha, Shashti Bhakti, Jnanameva Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yogasya, Jnana Yoge Nishta. Saptami, Tatpurusha, Jnana Yoga Nishta. Then Jnana Yoga Nishtayaha, Visarga is missing. Typo. Pratakkarnat. There are many mistakes that I mean. You will see that Visarga missing, but you have to be alert. This Jnana Yoga Nishtayaha, the word is qualified by the other word, Nishkriyatva Swarupa Avasthana Lakshana Yaha. That is, the Jnana Yoga Nishta is characterized by Avasthanam abiding in this Swarupa of the Atma, and Atma is Nishkriyaha, which is actionless. No karma is there for Atma. Atma is Nishkriyaha, no karma, no karakas are there. Neither karta, na karma, na karana, na sampradana, na adhikarana, na apadana. Atma is free from all the karakas. Akarta Atma. Why we keep on saying akarta, akarta? Because there is notion of aham karta, I am the doer, therefore I become bhokta, therefore karma pala, therefore there is anubhava, therefore punya and papa because of karma, there is janma marana samsara. That is why negative we say akarta, akarta iti. If I know aham atma akarta, then there is no problem. But problem is aham karta iti. Atma, which cannot be a karta, is considered to be a karta. Is the notion that is completely wrong. That's why the mistake, fundamental error, due to adhyasa, due to avidya, avidyaya adhyasa. Adhyasa, for that karanam is avidya. So therefore only always negative. Akarta, Atma is akarta. The definition of Atma is only in terms of negation. Why negation? Because we think Atma to be karta, therefore negated. Even in Mundaka Upanishad, the definition is given in the form of negation. Yatadadresham agragam agotram avarnam achakshashrotram dadapani padam nityam vibham sarvagatam susuksham yadbhuta yonim paripashyanti dhiraha. Yata adreshyam agragyam agotram avarnam, all are negative. Definition is given through dismissing. Therefore, Atma is Nishkriyaha. Nishkriya Atma is considered to be Sakriya Atma, therefore, a negation. Atma, Aham Atma Karta. That is Jnanam. And that's Jnana, that is the Nishta of the Sankhyas, that is Jnana Yoga Nishta. The Jnana Yoga Nishta, which is in the form of abiding in the Swarupam of oneself, the Atma, and Atma is Nishkriyaha iti. Therefore, to differentiate the Jnana Yoga lifestyle from Karma Yoga lifestyle, Bhagavan has said very clearly in the third chapter, Jnana Yogena Sankhyana. That is one reason. Therefore, Hetumat is, therefore, Karma Yoga Swapne api na sambhavaitum shakyam atmavidaha. This is second reason. Eto Panchami, all these are Eto. Eto is given, is presented in Panchami. We have seen Hetau, Vibhasha Gune Astriyam, Hetau, Panchami, optionally, Panchami Vibhakti. Kidrishi Panchami Vibhakti, Hetau Panchami. All these are Hetau Panchami. So this is second point. Third point is Krita Krityattvena.
कृतकृत्यत्वेन
कृत्यत्वेन
आत्मविदः प्रयोजनान्तर अभावात्
आत्मविदः
प्रयोजनान्तराभावात्
प्रयोजनान्तराभावात्
स्वप्ने अपि कर्मयोगः न संभावितुं शक्यते आत्मविदः तदिद हेतुमत् so कृतकृत्यत्वं तेन कृतकृत्यत्वेन कृतं कृत्यः what is to be done is done means the purpose of life is achieved what is to be accomplished is accomplished and that what is accomplished is already accomplished therefore accomplishment only in the form of knowledge knowing only so therefore kritakrityattvena kritakrityat means after that what is the purpose there is no other purpose atmavidah kritakrityatvam what is to be achieved is achieved what is to be done is done so therefore kritakrityattvena kritakrityatvam tva pratyaya tva is there the status of being done what is to be done therefore there is fulfillment there is purnatvam therefore when atmaviti is purna because he has gained that is to be gained he has done that is to be done what is the use of karma yoga there is because of the absence of any other purpose karma yoga swapne api na sambhavitum shakyam karma yoga is not possible is not required not possible na sambhavitum shakyam not is not required we don't say na sambhavitum shakyam not possible for an atmavit the beginning of this spiritual journey karma yoga yes as sadhana is required the sadhaka karma yogi once the end is achieved kritakrityaha once the end is achieved will you keep on doing the same means the means which has helped you to gain the end what is the use of means after you climb up using the ladder will you still carry the ladder with you or the rope with you which helped you to climb the mountain you throw away similarly because sadhana has served the purpose when you're doing the sadhana you are a sadhaka when you become a siddha what is the use of sadhana in fact for a jnani once you know then this karma yoga upasana even jnanam everything drops Brahmanam also goes away for the person, not the what is used of again studying Shastram. When he is already Jivan Muktaha, again will study Shastram. Shastram has done the purpose. Then what to talk about Karma Yoga? So therefore, Prayojanantara Bhavat, the Mahavakya Tattvamasi that has done a job, therefore is no more a sadhaka, he is a siddha. So Nitya Siddhatvat, Karma Yogasya, Prayojanatvam Nasti, Tasya Atmavidaha. No karma to be done because he knows karma is parichinna. Parichinna karmana, parichinna purushartha prapti. He has gained parama purushartha. He has gained the knowledge aham atma purnaha iti. Then what is he gained by karma? Nothing. And karma is, as we saw, it has limitations. It can produce only applicable only in 4 places. Utpadyam, vikaryam, samskaryam, and prapyam. All these things are not possible for an atmavit. It doesn't have to purify Atma. Atma can never be purified. It is ever Shuddha. It cannot be produced because it doesn't come and go. It cannot be reached because it already reached. Similarly, it doesn't have to undergo any modification. It cannot go under any modification. No samskaryam is not possible. No purification is possible. Purification is only for the antakarma, not for the Atma. Atma is ever pure. Chitta Shuddhi only we say. Not Atma Shuddhi. Atma Shuddhi, the word is used sometimes in the Gita, but there we say Atma is Antakarnam, Sattva Shuddhi, not Sachidananda Atma. Therefore, Karma Yogasya Prayojanam Nasti. Prayojanantaram, Anya Prayojanam, Mayura Vimsakadi, Samasa, Tatpurushaha. Anya Prayojanam Nasti, Karma Yogasya. Therefore, Prayojanantara Abhavat, because of the absence of any other utility, purpose of Karma Yoga for Atmavit, the reason is Kritakrityattvana, because of the status of being fulfilled. Therefore, Karma Yoga Swapne Apina Sambhavitum Shakyaha Shakyate. Therefore, even in dream, karma yoga is not possible for him, for Atmavita. This is the third reason. Then fourth one. Tasya karyam na vidyate
तस्य कार्यं न
न
विद्यते
विद्यते
iti kartavyantara abhavavachanacha
इति
इति
कर्तव्यान्तरवचनाच्च
कर्तव्यान्तराभाववचनाच्च
vachanam statement. Abhava vachanam, absence, abhava, kartavyantara abhava. Kartavyantara anya, kartavyam to be done. What is to be done? Nothing is to be done for the person who is Atmavitu, who is a Jnani. Tasya karyam na vidyate, because he is kritakartyaha. Tasya, what duty he has got? He has got no duty. He is free from karma. Jnanam frees him from karma. So therefore, kartavya antara, to be done, something to be done, it is not there for him. Iti bhava vachanat, because of the statement. Statement, where is it? It is in Gita only. Who said? Bhagavan only. Tasya karyam vidyate. Where it is at the third chapter. Which shloka? Tasya karyam vidyate. 17th shloka, third chapter. Bhagavan says, Tasya karyam vidyate. Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. Tasya karyam vidyate. Yasvat paratireva syat. Atmatruptascha manavaha. Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. Tasya karyam vidyate. There is nothing to be done for that person. Therefore, prayojanantara abhava vajanat. Sorry, kartavyantara abhava vajanat. Karyam means that should be done. Yat pratyaya, kridhatu, nyat pratyaya, not yat, nyat, kritya, should be done. So kartavyam is not there, to be done. It's not there for that person. Therefore, karma yoga is karmi swapne api sambhavayitam na shakyaha, not applicable for that Atmavita. That is the fourth reason. Now, fifth reason. Na karmana manarambhat
न कर्मणामनारम्भात्
संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः
सन्न्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः
इत्यादिना च
इत्यादिना च
आत्मज्ञानाङ्गत्वेन
आत्मज्ञानाङ्गत्वेन
कर्मयोगस्य विधानात्
कर्मयोगस्य
विधानात् what? स्वप्ने अपि कर्मयोगः न सम्भावितुं शक्यते आत्मविदः. You have to connect like that. This is the hetu and hetumat. Swapne api sambhavitum na shakyate. What is the hetu? Na karmana manarambha. Na karmana manarambha. Nishkarmyam siddhyati. Said in the Gita third chapter. Na karmana manarambha. Nishkarmyam purushaha ashtute. Purusho ashtute. So nishkarmyam is jnana karma sannyasa. Sarva karma sannyasa. Jnana karma sannyasa. Sarva karma sannyasa. Jnana karma sannyasa all same. So nishkarmyam. Nishkarmanaha bhavaha. Sarva karma sannyasa is not attained by not performing karma. That is this upadesha given for an ajnani. Ajnani has to perform karma so that he gains antakarna shuddhi, he gains jnana yogyata. Then through jnanam, he gains jnana karma sannyasa, that is naishkarmya bhavaha. Therefore, sarva karma sannyasa, that jnanam, that is the end, that is sadhya, that is upeya. And what is the means? What is the sadhanam? Sadhanam, upaya is karma yoga. So without the upaya, without the means, without the sadhanam, how the end, the sadhya, that is jnana karma sannyasa, sarva karma sannyasa, that is the upaya, how it is gained? Not possible. For karma yoga is a means to gain, the means to gain jnanam. Not directly, of course, through jnana yoga. Jnanam only gives jnanam, but karma yoga is a means. Preparatory means. That's why Bhagavan says, na karmana manarambha. And also he says, Sannyasastu Mahabaho Dukkam Aptum Ayogataha. Sannyasa is very difficult without Karma Yoga. Karma Yogam Vina. It is Dukkam Aptum Ayogataha. Ayogataha means that one who is not ready. It means one who has not prepared himself by Karma Yoga. Ayogataha. Yogataha na Yogataha Ayogataha. Yogataha Panchami Arte Tasal. Yoga meaning Karma Yoga. Ayogataha without Karma Yoga. So without Karma Yoga, Sarva Karma Sannyasa, that is Vidvat Sannyasa, Atma Vidyakartaka Sannyasa, not possible. Jnana Karma Sannyasa, it's not possible. Therefore, Karma Yoga is necessary for what? For Jnanam, that is for Moksha, for Vidvat Sannyasa, Sarva Karma Sannyasa. Therefore, for Atma Jnana Angatvena Karma Yoga Sividana. So, Atma Jnanam is the Angi. Angi means Angaha Asya Astiti Angi. Like Ashtanga, we say. Ashtanga means 8 limbs, 8-limbed yoga. So that Anga, Angi, Baba is there. That which is Anga. Suppose Manushyaha is there. A man is there. He has got parts, hands, legs, all the other organs, parts are there. That alone makes a person, that Manushyaha, that Naraha is Angi. The Angi has got Anga, the parts. So Anga means parts. The one who has got parts is, or that which has got parts is the Angi. The Jnanam, Atma Jnanam is the Angi, for which Anga is Karma Yoga. So Atma Jnanangatvena Karma Yoga is Anga, is a means. Instead of using the word sadhanam, Acharya uses the word Anga. So Karma Yoga is the Anga for Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnanam is the Angi. Atma Jnanangatvena, Atma Jnanasya Angatvena Karma Yoga Vartate. Vidiyate, Vidanat. Vidanat is, it is prescribed. Karma Yoga is prescribed as the means, Anga, for Atma Jnanam. Therefore, how can Karma Yoga be prescribed for the person who is already an Atma with a wise man? Therefore, Swapne api Karma Yoga na sambhavitam shakyate Atma Vidaha. Not possible. The 5th reason. Then, next one. Yogarudasya tasyaiva
योगारूढस्य तस्यैव
shamakharanamuchyate
क्षमः कारणमुच्यते
इत्यनेन च
इत्यनेन च
उत्पन्न सम्यक् दर्शनस्य
उत्पन्नसम्यक्दर्शनस्य
कर्मयोग अभाववचनात्
कर्मयोग अभाववचनात्
अभाववचनात् स्वप्ने अपि कर्मयोग न संभवितुं शक्यते. Therefore, only it is not possible. Hetumat. The hetu is given here. Karma yoga abhava vachanat. Because vachanam, statement, because of the absence, because of the statement, what is said? Karma yoga abhava vachanam. The statement of the absence of karma yoga. For whom? Acharya here quotes from the Gita only. Yoga rudasya tasyeva shamakharanam uchyate. Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate. Yoga rudasya tasyeva shamakharanam uchyate. Arurukshuhu arodum ichuhu. Those who want to climb the ladder of yoga. That is, who wants to climb the ladder of yoga means that jnanam, for them karma yoga is a means. Who has already reached Arudaha, who has climbed up, who has gained this yoga, this jnanam. For them, what is recommended? Shamaha. Shamaha meaning sannyasa. Complete. Tyaga, renunciation is suggested. Therefore, when sarva karma sannyasa, that is when sannyasa, shamaha, sannyasa is suggested for the one who is yoga rudaha, who has already climbed up, who has already reached this yoga, this jnanam. For him, shamaha, complete withdrawal from karma. is suggested. Therefore, for whom? Atma Utpanna Samyak Darshanasya is there. That is the person. The person is referred to. Utpannam Samyak Darshanam Yasya Saha Utpanna Samyak Darshanaha Tasya. For the one who has gained or in whom has produced this Samyak Darshan, the clear vision, the clear knowledge. For him, Karma Yoga Abhava Vachanat. For him, the absence of Karma Yoga is taught, is presented, told. That is, there are Vachanam statements in the Gita where Karma Yoga, absence of Karma Yoga Abhavaha, impossibility of Karma Yoga is talked about. For whom? For Yoga Rudaha. The sixth chapter talked about. For the one who has already reached the end. For him, Karma Yoga is not required. Therefore, Karma Yoga Abhava Vachanat. Because Shamaha he says. The first line of the shloka, Karma Karanamuchyate. For whom? Arurukshoho. Arurukshoho. For those who want to gain jnanam, this yoga for them, karma is a means. For those who have gained the jnanam, for them sannyasa is suggested to complete tyaga. Therefore, karma yoga bhavavachanat tasya at utpanna samyak darshanasya. For whom right vision is utpannam born. For him, karma yoga is not there. Therefore, Atmavidaha swapne api karma yogaha sambhavitum na shakyate. Iti. Next shloka. Shariram kevalam karma kurvan
शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्
na apnoti kilbisham
न आप्नोति किल्बिषम्
iti cha sharira sthiti karana atirittasya
इति च शरीरस्थिति कारणातिरिक्तस्य
karmanaha nivaranat.
कर्मणनिवारणात्
That is the hetu. Because of which swapne api karma yoga sambhavitum na shakyate atmavidaha. What is the hetu? Shariram kevalam karma kurvan na apnoti kilbisham. Yeah, a wise person, an atmavita, he does action only for the sustenance of the shariram. When he does, he doesn't gain any papam. Na kurvan api na apnoti kilbisham. This means there is no other karma suggested by the Shastram for an Atmavit other than just maintaining the body. Because Prarabdha is the Shriram has to continue. He cannot commit suicide. He cannot give up the body. Shariram has to go because Shariram doesn't cause any problem for the Jnani. If the Shariram causes problem, then he is not a Jnani. Shariram is Mithya. He has got Mithya darshan towards the Shariram. So what can cause problem for him? He's already free. But Shariram has to go as long as karma is there. Therefore, no karma for him. Minimum karma, that is Sharira Sthityartameva karma. Similarly, therefore, iticha Sharira Sthiti Karana Atiriktasya. Other than maintaining, preserving the Shariram, there is no other karma is suggested. Therefore, Sharira Sthiti Karana Atiriktasya. Karana Atiriktasya Nivaranat. Karmanaha Nivaranat. Because of the negation of karma, other than the karma required for maintenance of the Shariram is prescribed for the Jnani. Therefore, for Jnani, for Atmavit, Swapne api karma bhavaha. Karma is not suggested. Karma sambhavayitum na shakyate. Karma yogaha na sambhavayitum shakyate. Therefore, karma yoga is not possible for a Jnani, for a wise man. The last point, to complete that also. Naiva kinchit karomiti
नैव किञ्चित् करोमि इति
yukto manyeta tattvit
युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित्
ityanena cha
इत्यनेन च
शरीरस्थिति मात्र प्रयुक्तेषु अपि
शरीरस्थितिमात्रप्रयुक्तेष्वपि
दर्शन श्रवणादिषु कर्मसु
दर्शनश्रवणादिकर्मसु
कर्मसु
आत्मयाथात्म्यविदः
आत्मयथात्मविदः
करोमि इति प्रत्ययस्य
करोमि
करोति इति प्रत्ययस्य
समाहितचेतस्तया
समाहितचेतस्तया
अकर्तव्यत्व उपदेशात्
सदा
अकर्तव्यत्वोपदेशात्
आत्मतत्त्वविदः
आत्मतत्त्वविदः
सम्यक् दर्शनविरुद्धः
सम्यक्
दर्शनविरुद्धः
मिथ्याज्ञानहेतुकः
मिथ्याज्ञानहेतुकः
कर्मयोगः
कर्मयोगः
स्वप्ने अपि न सम्भावयितुं शक्यते
स्वप्ने अपि न सम्भावयितुं शक्यते
शक्यते.
Then yasmat starts to see. So the 8 point is the last point. Naiva kinchit karomiti, that is from the 5th chapter of the Gita. We will be seeing that. Naiva kinchit karomiti, yukto manyeta tattvit, pashin shrinvan, splashan jigran, ashtan gachan, sapan shvasan, pralapan, visajan grandan, unmishan nimishan api, indriyani indriyateshu, naiv vartante iti dharayan. Shloka is that. Beautiful shloka. Iti anena, Sharira Sthiti Matra Prayukteshu, just for the Sharira Sthiti. Prayukteshu. Prayukteshu, only for the maintenance of the Shariram, therefore he is Prayukta, he is engaged. The Sharira Matra Prayukteshu, only for the sustenance of the body. Sharira Sthiti Matra, Matra is eva, only for the maintenance of the Shariram, Prayukteshu, Darshana Shravanadi Karmasu. Darshana Shravanadi Karmasu. Darshanam is seeing, Shravanam is hearing. So, Karmasu with regard to karma like seeing, hearing, walking, talking, etc. Atma Yathatmya Vidaha. Atma Yathatmya Vidaha means Atma Vidaha. Means Atma Vidaha only. Those who knows the Atma as it is. That means he has got clear knowledge, Samyak Jnanam. So that person, Karomi iti pratyasya, I do, Aham Karomi iti pratyaya, that idea, that bodha, that knowledge, Aham Karomi, I do, I am doing. That Samahita Chetastaya. Samahita Chetastaya Sada Akartavyatva Upadesha. Samahita Chetastaya. Chetaha Chittam, that is mind. Samahita Chetaha. Samahita Chetastha. Then Tritiya. Samahita Chetastaya. So with the Tritiya Bhakti of Samahita Chetastha. Tasya Bhavaha. Tvatala. Tvatal. Tal Prataya. Samahita Chetastaya. With the one who has the mind which is absorbed. So by the mind, the state of mind which is absorbed, with the mind which is an absorbed state. Sada, for that person, sada akartavyata upadesha. There is upadesha. Upadesha of what? Akartavya, nakartavyam, akartavyam. Akartavyata upadesha. That is nakartavyam. Sharira sthiti in all these karmasu, akartavyatvam upadeshat. That karomi iti, that I do, that pratyaya, that bodha is to be avoided. Akartavyatva upadeshat. Upadesha, why he says? Because it is natural for the jnani. It is upadesha, it is said in the Gita, therefore upadesha. It is not, it is something, that recommended to be practiced. It is, the state is natural. Pashyanapi na pashyati, shrunanapi na shrunoti, pashyan shrunan pasyan jigran. Indriyani indriyateshu vartante. Aham kinchit na karami, I don't do anything. Because aham atma, what will I do? There is no karma for me. I don't do any atma. Indriyas, they function in the respective areas of areas. Indriyas interact with sense objects, but I don't do anything. That akartavyatvam, that upadesha. So therefore, naiva kinchit karomi iti. Agam karomi iti pratyasya samagita chetastaya, because of the absorption of the mind, because of the absorption of the mind. Karomi iti pratyasya. I do iti pratyaya, that the pratyaya means the thought. Pratyaya meaning the thought. The thought for the jnani, who has the mind which is resolved, samagita chetastaya. And for him, Atmavidaha, Atmayata Atmavidaha. Who is that person? Atmayata Atmavidaha, the one who knows the nature of Atma. For him, there is the Upadesha, the teaching of what? Teaching that Agam Karomi iti pratyasya, that pratyash akartavyatam, that avoiding to be done, avoidance of to be done. That is the literal translation. Akartavyatva, akartavyatva Upadesha. A teaching of not to be done, teaching of avoidance to be done, avoiding the idea that I do with regard to hearing, seeing, Shavana, Darshana, Shavana, Adishu, Karmasu. Because these are done by the person just for the maintenance of the Sharidam, with the mind absorbed in himself, Atma. So therefore, for that person, how can Karma Yoga is possible? It is not possible even in Swapna. Because Karma Yoga is based on wrong knowledge. And this person who has got the right knowledge, and therefore Karma Yoga is not possible. Aham karomi iti, that the pratyaya itself is not there for a jnani. I don't do. With regard to darshana, shravanadisu karmasu, for atmavidaha, atmayata atmavidaha, for a jnani, aham karomi iti, pratyaya itself is not there. Because his mind is absorbed in himself. Samagita chetastaya. He is the one with the resolved mind. For him, akartavyatva upadeshat, he cannot do. Because his mind is absorbed in himself in Atma. Therefore, how can he say, I see, I talk, I walk? That also is because it is mithya. I, Atma, cannot do anything. Therefore, for him, Karma Yoga is impossible. So, akartavyatva upadesha, that upadesha, and you have to understand that it is not something, a teaching given to be followed. It is not that meaning. It is said in the Gita, that is akartavyam, not to be done. Not to be done means what? He cannot do. Jnani cannot entertain the idea of agam karomi iti. That pratyaya cannot be there. Because his cheta is samagita, samek agita, atmani. Because his mind is resolved in Atma. So therefore, for him, with regard to karma like seeing, hearing, etc., that he does only for Sharira Sthiti Matra. Only for those karma, he does only for the maintenance of the Shariram. Maintenance of the Shariram, and it does not with the Pratyaya, not with the Bodha, not with the cognition, I do. Because I do, that is not there for a Jnani. When you say I do means Aham Karta, Atma becomes Karta. That is not that. That is what Jnanam is. The Kartrutva Buddhi Abhavaha. That is Upadesha. That is the teaching. So therefore, na karomi iti. Naiva kinchit na karomi. in spite of sense organs performing their sensory perceptions, interact with the sense objects. I don't do anything. How can a person say unless he is a jnani? For that person, karma yoga is swapne api na sambhavitam shakyate. He cannot suggest karma yoga even in swapna for such a person. Iti Acharya gives 8 hetus and the hetumat is therefore karma yoga is not possible for that person even in dream. We'll stop here. We'll continue the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadah.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ ಜಿ.
Dhanyavadah.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಶರಣಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಜ್ಜಿ.
Dhanyavadah.